Welcome back to our geometry unit. And so today we're going to be talking about classifying angles. A lot of this we discussed yesterday. Our learning target is I can classify angles and find angle measures. So just a complete review for 1 through 3 is the right angle is 90 degrees. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees, little examples over here, but we are adding today the straight angle, which is 180 degrees. I guess technically it's obtuse, but very technically in geometry we do call it a straight angle because it's a straight line. Just taking a look at the shape, which Mrs. McKinley attempted to draw, although not very well. I did not use a straight edge. I'm going to ask you right now to pause and name the angles. Like you can just write angle A, angle C, because that's the easiest way. Which ones are obtuse, which ones are right, and which ones are acute. Clearly right here you can see that for right you would do angle A. If you want to pause me, and then I'm going to keep teaching through it. Okay, so this one looks a little greater than 90 degrees, as does this one. So those are my two obtuse. So I'm going to put angle C and angle D. My acute angle is going to be angle B. So I can just eyeball that and see. If you had to use a protractor, you probably could, but I can imagine drawing this as a right angle, and it's wider than that. Okay, the main crux of our lesson today are two kinds of angles, and I'm going to show them at one time so that you can see. The complementary angle, the complementary angles, I should say, are two angles whose sum measures exactly 90 degrees. So I did an example here. There's my 90-degree angle. I drew another angle to the vertex here, named this angle 1 and angle 2. The measures of angle 1 plus angle 2 are 90 degrees. Simple, easy peasy. And I just put a little 90 up here so that you associate complementary with 90. However you need to memorize this. This will be on map tests. This will likely be on MCA tests coming up. You won't get away from this. So supplementary angle is a little bit bigger deal in terms of degrees. So those are two angles whose measures when added together equal 180 degrees. So I just drew the little 180 above the supplementary. These are two things you should, like your multiplication facts, just plain old memorize. So I named this angle 3, this angle 4. So in simple math terms, angle 3 plus angle 4, 180 degrees. Forgot my little degrees, so I'd get a half off on my quiz. All right, so I want you to take a look at angle 1 and angle 2 here. Are they complementary or supplementary? If so, which one? And angle 1 is 40, angle 2 is 50. What are those? So I'm going to quickly do the calculation over here, 132 plus 48. I know some of you are probably able to do this in your head, but I want to just show those of you who like to write it out. I'm a writer. So 8 plus 2, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 180. So it is supplementary. And then hopefully you can see 40 plus 50 is 90. That is a complementary. Now let's get into what in the world we are going to do with this. We have a couple of questions here that you can go ahead and try. If you can't see my numbers, I just want to point out this is a 35-degree angle. This is a 145-degree angle right here. And I am looking for the angle measure of X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I don't want you to use a protractor. I want you to use the math and what you know about complementary and supplementary angles. So this is the first one that I want you to find. And then I want you to find X, Y, R right here. Okay, so I want you to find those two given only these numbers. Down here, I want you to take a look at this picture. This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, a diagram of it. I drew the flat ground and where 90 degrees would be, and then how the tower used to lean before restoration was happening. So I have this right here, this angle from here to over here is 84.5 degrees. What I want you to find is just this little sliver right here. This is the degree to which they needed to fix it to go upright, and how far it leaned beforehand. So what is the measure of this angle X? You can go ahead and pause me and try those, and then I'm going to put the calculations up for you to check your answers with. I'm going to put these up, and my apologies, I sort of crammed the arithmetic off to the side here, so let's just go with it. So I said find X, Y, Z, which is right here. I know that's kind of funny. People say examine your zipper or whatever, so we'll laugh about that and pull on here. But what I did was I realized that this is 180 degrees right here, so I did 180 minus whatever this is to find this. So I did 180 minus 145, and when I did the subtraction, I got 35 degrees. The second angle we had to find is XYR, and I see there is a straight angle right there that's 180 degrees, but I need to take off the 35 degrees. And when I did that, 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees. Okay, this one down here is a complementary angle because we're dealing with a 90-degree measure. We already knew we had 84.5 right here, and which is almost 90, so it was almost straight up. It wasn't like leaning like at a 45-degree angle or anything. So I did 90 degrees minus 84.5, and I did the arithmetic in red so that you can see that when I regrouped, I have the 10 here, the 9 here, and the 8 here. See me if that doesn't make sense to you. That's imperative that you know at this level. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 4 is 5. Don't forget the decimal point, because it only leaned 5.5 degrees, which isn't a huge deal, except when gravity and forces like that fit into the equation, it's going to continue to pull that building. So 5.5 degrees is the amount of correction that they needed to do with the vertical lean that it had. So that's it for today. I love this because it's like creating little puzzles with math, and you've got to find the missing angle. So it's a lot of algebra. Find where your straight angles are, find where your 90-degree angles are, and you can do a lot of reasoning through there. See me if you have any questions, and have fun with this assignment.